desk, you need everything else. So the hope is that at your desk, you are ready. So when you go to sit down, you don't need to waste any time getting things ready. Okay? Another thing that I do, okay, that I didn't tell your parents because I didn't know if I was going to do it, is I record these lessons and I stream them live. So right now it's on YouTube. It's on my school account. The only thing that will ever be shown is my page that has the document on it, so there's not going to be any faces or anything like that. I would like to try and figure it out to where you could see me and the document, but I haven't really been able to tweak that as I like. Now, the reason I do that is,
how many subscribers do you have?
I don't know. On my Gmail account, I have like over 20 something, but like 70,000 views or something. On this one, not as many. So the reason I do this is if you're absent, you have it. If your parents are interested, they have it. Okay, I haven't figured out how I'm going to store it and share it. I've worked on some stuff before that I haven't liked, but you will have access to this stuff. I just need to figure out the best way, and so will your parents. So if you do miss a day of school, you're responsible. It's going to be there, okay? As much as I can remember to do it, especially for reading and writing, that'll be there, and probably for math, maybe something will be there. But the mini lesson will be there, okay? What time is it now? 11:21. Okay. So again, if you followed instructions correctly, you should only have your pen and your learning notebook, and that's it. Everything else should be at your desk and ready. Only your learning notebook and a pen, and at your desk, your book should be there. Your reading log should be there. I printed out new ones, so I'll give those to people. Your Post-it notes should be ready. Okay? Just your learning notebook and a pen.
I cannot have the book.
If you want to leave stuff here, that's fine.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, so I am showing you a picture of Goldilocks. Oh, see how you do that every time. Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I don't know if you know that story or not. I figured you did. So why on earth would I be showing you a picture of Goldilocks and the Three Bears to start a reading workshop lesson about interpreting characters? Talk to your partner.
Because you can interpret because I need to choose it. I already finished.
All right, 3, 2, 1. If you happen to see what the session's title is, taking responsibility for reading lots of within reach books, Goldilocks is always trying to find something just right. And so this is all about making sure that we have access and we are reading just right books. Books that are challenging enough, but not too challenging. And that's the perfect thing. So what I want you to do first is look at our strategies. Okay, I printed those out. I wanted them to be in color paper, but there was a malfunction. So it's just black and white. You'll notice I make some of them. Other ones come from the reading unit. Okay, so if we happen to talk about strategies that they already have, I print those out. If we don't talk about strategies that I show, I print those out too. I put your name on stuff so we know who said it. Okay, Salvador came up with one that the people did not have one, and I thought it was such a good strategy and so important, especially for us in our lives now with so many distractions, that we needed that up there. So that's another strategy. If you want to read intensely, you can't have any distractions around you, and that might be your friends, and it might be the people sitting around you that are completely distracting you. So you're really gonna have to think about that, okay, and make a decision. Do you want to focus on learning? Do you want to support each other with learning? And understand that giving people time to read intensely and not talk to them, you are honoring their learning and you are honoring their learning process, okay? So that's why I have it up there, super important. So I want you to look at each one, and I want you to think back to your reading day yesterday. Did you try that strategy out? And for each one, I want you to give yourself a thumbs up if you did, and a thumbs to the side if you didn't. Okay, so just go through each one. Think, did I figure out confusing parts yesterday? Yes or no? Okay. Did you read as if you were in the book? Yes? No? So go through each one and rate yourself. What did you do? Thumbs up if you did, thumbs to the side if you did. Or if you could do it better even. All right, so again, that tip of the day, what we're talking about right now, is another way that we grow these solid, grounded ideas. Okay, and that's making sure that we are reading something with fluency and that we understand what is happening. Okay, so if you're not reading with fluency and you're not understanding what's happening, it's going to be really hard to do the challenging work that we're asking you to do, and that I'm demanding and expecting from each and every one of you, this importance of growing these ideas and having ideas. Okay. I'm going to just go over this process real quick, because I was going to do it one way, but I kind of want to speed through a little bit because we did have a little bump there. This is how you know a book is too hard. Okay, this is the process. This is what we think and do and talk about. Okay, the first thing you do is, if it does not sound like a read aloud. So if it doesn't, if you are not able to make it sound in your head fluent after rereading it, okay, so don't give up if it's the first time through. Okay, especially when you begin a book. Sometimes it's super hard in the beginning, it gets easier and easier and easier. Okay, but if you can make it sound like a read aloud, that's a great indication that you're reading something that you can understand. And if you can't make it sound like it, I'm not saying out loud, okay, because that's a different skill. Reading out loud is a different skill than reading internally. Okay, so if in your head you can make it sound good, you can make it sound fluent, you're stopping and it sounds like a story. Okay, that's a great indicator that this is a just right book. But if you can't, you might be thinking about abandoning that book. The third point, you're just like, I have no idea what's going on. I just have no idea. I don't know what's going on. So you have to be honest with yourself. Reading books you don't understand are not going to help you. Understand that if you read books that challenge you correctly, you're going to be able to read any book you want sooner or later. But you got to do the work below to get there. You got to go through as many books, like push. It's about reading. It's about getting through the books. Okay? As many books as possible, doing that deep thinking. And if you have too much stuff going on, your brain is so tired out that it can't think deeply. It's just exhausted. There's only so much our brain can do at one time. And if your brain is having to figure out words, like metaphors, all this stuff is just so confusing, it's a warning. It's saying, hey, you're not going to be able to think deeply on this book. Okay, so it's okay to give up. It's okay to find an easier one. Okay. Sometimes the print's too small. I'll open some books. I'm like, good night, sweet prince. It's super tiny. And it's super tiny. And it just freaks me out. And I'm like, I'm not ready for this. And I got to come back to it. Brothers Karamazov was a great example. That took me like 4 years to get through. So sometimes it's just too small. And you're like, I can't get into this right now. And the other one, if you're running into just hard word after hard word after hard word after hard word that you don't know, that's going to really take out from your experience. Okay. So that's how you know. So now I want you to think about that book that you read yesterday. Did you run into this stuff? Okay. Or does it feel like now that's a good fit? Okay. And so you're going to need to make that decision for yourself today and every day. Are you reading books that are appropriately challenging? Okay. And it's better to read something too easy than too hard right now. And practice these skills of deeply thinking about stuff, creating and growing ideas. Much better to do it with an easy book. Okay? All right. There's no shame in it. Okay? There's no shame in where your process is. We're all different. We've all had different experiences. Our brain works different. Okay? When it comes to reading. So we are where we are, and you're going to be where you're going to be. Of course, where you're going to be, that's up to you and me and the experiences we're going to have. So that's it. That's today. Today and every day, as you read, make sure that text is within your grasp, and that you can understand it so that you can get the most out of it. Okay? Now, for now, I am going to turn this screen off. I'm going to turn it back on in a little bit. What I want you to do is I have exit slips to the left of each last person. So pass those down to your row. And on that exit slip, I want you to put your number, and I want you to put what was the main point of this lesson. And I do not want to hear any talking. What was this lesson about?
What is the name of your channel?
That's just my name. What was this lesson about? Make sure your number's on there.
Our number.
Your class number, so I know who you are.
The top corner, left, in the left top.
Left corner helps me out. But at least if it's on there, that's more than anything. So what was this lesson mostly about? In the short amount of words as possible.
Now I understand why people have that bears. I thought that you can think about my understanding.
All right, when you finish, just hand it to me.